Hey everyone, so it has already been a turbulent night. A lot has happened. But let's jump right into this review first and foremost. So I was lucky enough to, in fact, go to the Mr. Bones 3 premiere. In fact, me and my fiance, we actually met Leon Schuster. We got a few photos with him, which was really exciting. Attending this event was not only fun, but it was also very inspirational because I got to see that there is still a lot of love for South African cinema. And that is something that as a hopeful South African movie maker myself was really inspirational to see. It was great to see so many locals coming out to support this film. It was just absolutely amazing. So yeah, guys, let's jump right into this review of Mr. Bones 3. We join once again with Leon Schuster with Mr. Bones, and he's busy, trying to teach his son how to ultimately take over his role within the tribe. This is very much a coming of age story where we're looking at a son looking up to his father, realizing that he's going to have to fill those massive shoes. Does he have the ability to take over this legacy? And that's always a story I can relate to. So there was a very big part of me just vibing with the story really hard because I know what it's like to look up to your father, this man who seems larger than life, and wondering, is this a man whose legacy is something that I can eventually take over? Back to the movie, this is typical Leon Schuster, 100%. And so if you are a fan of his, you're going to love this movie. And if not, then unfortunately, it's going to be the same with this movie. His method is tried and tested, and it works. He has a core audience for a reason. They understand what they're getting out of him, and he continues to provide that type of content. I found myself really enjoying the movie. I will admit that there were definitely times where it felt more like a South African production rather than an international production. And I think a big one for me was honestly the part that disappointed me the most, and that was the filming of the wildlife. Here in South Africa, we've got some amazing wildlife. I am a wildlife videographer. That's what I used to do professionally before moving into my current role at Zapcast. But filming wildlife is such a big passion of mine, and I feel like this film, for whatever reason, there were just specific scenes where there's wildlife montages, but you see the quality of the video just isn't there. It feels like even though you're watching this movie on a massive cinema screen, unfortunately, a lot of the content you're getting feels like it's like 720p, which was a little bit heartbreaking, but that doesn't take away from the core enjoyment of the film. These animals we're seeing are still real animals. And I have to say, I literally squealed. That sounds so bad, but I literally squealed in the cinema because there is this one scene where a Goliath heron, which is my favorite bird. I love filming that bird. It's just so big and majestic. And they got the shots of this Goliath heron hunting, and it pulls out this catfish. And I can guarantee you, I'm the only one that's going to appreciate that. No one else is going to. But it made me so incredibly happy. And I have to say, as much as a lot of the wildlife filming, the quality wasn't there, but being able to see those animals on the big screen and realizing that those are South African animals really did make my heart happy. This is a slapstick movie through. And so if that isn't your style of comedy, then stay away from this movie. But I was actually pleasantly surprised with how often I found myself laughing or chuckling. And I won't lie, it has been a very long time since I've been in a cinema where the entire cinema sounds like it's laughing. And so that was great. And you'll understand why just now I'm not necessarily in the happiest mood, but I found myself enjoying this movie. And that was all I could ask for at the time. I want a movie that I can actually watch and enjoy. In regards to the plot, it can feel a little bit messy, especially around the second act. And then the final conflict and resolution of the movie feels a little bit convoluted as well. It never really hits the heights of Mr. Bones 1, but I'd say this movie, it's definitely not a bad movie. And I would say it's around Mr. Bones 2, if not just a little bit higher. But this movie definitely is something that's worth watching if you are a fan of the Mr. Bones franchise. So look, guys, I feel like Mr. Bones 3 is very much a mixed bag. If you're going for the comedy, you are going to enjoy it. If you're going to experience this fictional world of Africa, you're going to enjoy it. But if you're going for deep richly written characters. You're not going to find that in this movie. The characters here serve their function, but they aren't rewriting, any stereotypical tropes. A lot of these characters are just their archetypes. We have Mr. Bones, who is the same in this movie as he has been in the first two. We have the cliche villain, who is as cliche as they possibly come. But if you understand that's the movie you're going to be watching, you will enjoy it. But if you are looking for something deeper, you're going to come out feeling a little bit disappointed. So it's definitely a mixed bag, because I will have to say the dialogue definitely needed some work as well. And sometimes you can see the actors really struggled to get their line delivery across in a convincing way. It felt like you could tell they were reading a script. And very often I find that very immersive breaking. But at the end of the day, I left this film thinking I actually enjoyed that. And at the end of the day, that's what you want when you go to watch a movie. You want to leave going, that was fun, I enjoyed it. So guys, I know this has been a mixed bag of a review, and I know I really tackled the wildlife filming quite a bit. But honestly, if you are just a casual cinema goer, you're going to enjoy this movie. Local is lekker. I thought this was great, and I'd love to see more support for local cinema in the years to come. So definitely go out and support this movie. So yes guys, I'm not my normal chipper self, and as you saw from the beginning of the video, someone very near and dear to me, Sheldon Zam, has unfortunately passed away. And he is someone who had a profound impact on my early YouTube career, very much so even up until last year. Him and I were in fact roommates up until a few months ago. And he is someone that was very influential in the growing content creation space here in South Africa. And so I know there's going to be a lot of content creators who are going to be shocked upon hearing this. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that will miss him and that will mourn him and take this as a massive shock, because he was so young and because he seemed so healthy. And Sheldon has a legacy here already. There will be people who remember him for a very, very long time. If you've come across his content on YouTube, you'll understand that authenticity was a big part of his life, and that he influenced a ton of creators through his work with Create ZA. So yeah, I don't have an agenda with this. I just want to say that he was a man who had so much potential. He was a man that impacted my life greatly. I don't think I would have the passion for YouTube that I do right now if it wasn't for him and engaging with him and my relationship with Create ZA. So just to end this video, Sheldon, you'll be missed, not just by me, but by the many, many, many people who you impacted positively, and you won't be forgotten.